Hey guys. Okay.
Come on in here. All right.
Hi everybody. We brought Adam to the video. Yay! I'm using my mom voice. This is what I do with CJ. I'm just logging in. I'm gonna turn off my volume just to make sure that everything's good, that we can see comments, because we don't have the screen towards us, so we can't see people commenting. But Adam agreed to be on the video. Yay! And you came up with a really good idea that you wanted to talk about.
Well, there was actually a couple things that I wanted to talk about.
Well, go for it. I don't think anyone's going to complain when we have you on video.
Well, you know, a lot of things have changed, obviously, since he came into the picture. He is the focus of all of our attention, and we've really reorganized our lives around us spending more time together. So that's been our focus. For those of you who've been, you know, keeping up with our Instagram, with any of the things we post, everything's about our family over everything, right? Kind of in keeping with that, one of the things that I wanted to share, something that I haven't really told anyone, and this just happened a couple weeks ago. So my mom came out here, and she's flying into the airport. So of course we're going to pick her up, and on the way there, the gas light comes on. Now we're in Rose's car, we're not in my car, and I'm like,
I've never run out of gas before.
Neither have I until the other night. So here's what happened. So the gas light comes on, and we both look at each other like, we can make it to the airport, right? The airport's not that far. We'll get to the airport, then we'll get gas.
Because when you're trying to pick up someone from the airport, you're kind of stressed, like, I've got to get them. Like, I don't want them to sit there waiting. I always feel like I need to get there, get them in the car, and then it'll be good.
That's totally what it was. I'm so focused on getting there. And then honestly, like, we were so excited to see my mom.
Yeah.
She gets in the car, now we're talking to her. Never even dawns on me again. Because we haven't turned the car off and turned it back on, so I'm not paying attention. The sensor's not going off. So we're cruising towards home. On the highway, mind you, right? Now, there's a couple major highways out here. Unfortunately, we live just off one of those major highways, so generally it's pretty good for us to get around. Everything, honestly, being from the East Coast, where sometimes it takes hours to get places.
Because of traffic.
Traffic and just all sorts of delays. And so for us, like 20 minutes is nothing, right? 20, 30 minutes to get across town.
I gotta give them credit though, the only people that beat us being East Coast as far as traffic wise, LA.
Yeah, LA, that's a whole different speed.
Yeah.
So we're coming back from the airport. We got my mom in the car. We're having a conversation. We're cruising home. We're like, let's just get back to the house. She wants to relax. It's been a long day for her. And all of a sudden, I realized there's a little stutter. As soon as I hit the gas again and it doesn't go, I'm like, I've never run out of gas. That's the first thing going through my mind. I'm like, oh my God, I ran out of gas. First it's about me, and then very quickly I'm like, holy crap. I have him, I have Ro, and my mom all in the car, and we're on the highway.
And it's late. It's like 10 o'clock at night, right?
No, it wasn't that late.
But it was not like 4 o'clock.
But it's dark.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pitch black. We got to get off the highway. There's no street lights here. So I not only have to get us off the highway, but like well off the shoulder, because the shoulder is not that big, and there's an exit right there. Do you want to go with Mom for a minute?
He wants to tell the story.
He does. I mean, he's
like, from my perspective. Go ahead.
More and more talkative lately, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
So the three of them are in the car. We get off to the side. I'm panicked on the inside. Hopefully I wasn't showing it on the outside. I'm like, please get in the driver's seat. I need you to steer. I gotta push. I literally get behind the car, push them off onto the shoulder. Thankfully there's a shoulder there. And from there, close up the car, make sure that they're safe on the inside because it was a little chilly out. And I'm like, well, this is what we train for, right? Every day.
Those words came out of your mouth.
Is it?
Yeah.
But that's the truth, right? So I look, I check my phone. There's a gas station, what was it, half a mile?
I thought.
No, it wasn't any further. It was maybe half a mile.
longer. Okay.
Let's say half a mile. There's.
It was, because your mom was like, 5 miles, because we saw 0.5.
Yeah. So it's only half a mile, which thankfully compared to what we normally do, that's not very far. But mind you, like, I'm not dressed for this, like, you know.
You were wearing nice clothes, and I just remember thinking, what shoes is he wearing? and then I saw him, like, all right, thank God he's wearing, like, you were wearing dress sneakers. But I was like, thank God he's not wearing dress shoes.
They're definitely not running shoes, but we put some miles on them. So I take off, and I can't run right away because all the side, like the embankment that goes down to a side street that's not that far away, it's rocks, not little rocks, but like these big rocks you would see, like, I don't even know how to describe them.
Like, off the mountain.
Yeah, like off the mountain, like they're just fill, right? And like it's not a level surface, so I had to like navigate that.
And it was like downhill, then.
Yeah, down a steep embankment. I get down to the bottom. There's a fence, and there's a fence with no top rail, but it's got the little barbs on top. And I'm looking at this fence. I'm like, no, it's pitch black. I can't see. I'm like, what am I gonna do? I'm like, I gotta hop this fence. Let me not get stuck on it.
From our perspective, okay, so now we're watching this from the car, okay? You put your foot in one of the holes of the fence, right, and you shook it.
Yeah.
And your mom goes, oh, he is not gonna climb that fence. Is he gonna climb that fence? And I know in her mind, she's like, he's gonna get hurt. And in my mind, number one, I'm like, he's got a little experience climbing a fence. The next thought was, he's on paper. And he's climbing a fence, like that, because unfortunately, as a prison wife, like, that's where your mind goes. And I was like, okay, well, we're right here, and the car's out of gas, and we have the baby in the car. It's not like, God forbid, somebody stops you, you can turn around and be like, look, come with me, you could talk to them, but that's where my mind went. And then I saw what you saw. Look ahead. I watched what you saw.
So thankfully, I don't try and go over. I said, let me see if there's a break in the fence or something. Luckily, I ran down a little bit further, and there was an opening. So I was able to get through, get onto the side street, and now I've just got street in front of me. But mind you, again, right, I'm in jeans, I'm in a sweater, like dress sneaks, running down the street. It's clear that I'm not just out for a run. So people driving by are looking at me, and all I can think about is the three of them are in the car by themselves. It's out of gas. It's getting cold. It's near an exit. Like, oh my God. The three people that I'm most concerned about in this world are all together in one place that is not safe, and it's my fault. That's all I could think about. So that inspired me to run a little bit quicker. And the whole time I was thinking, honestly, like, this is why we train, this is why we stay in good shape. Oh,
he's like, I wanted to go with you, Dad.
He did. He was pretty upset when I left. So I take off, and I get to the gas station. And I'm thinking about this as I get there. I'm like, I hope they have a gas can. I go into the little mini mart. I asked the guy, he said, I don't think we have one, but if we do, it'll be on that shelf over there. Luckily, I turn the corner, I look, there's one. There's one gas can on the bottom shelf, plastic. Someone had burned it. Yeah, I didn't tell you that part. So, it wasn't even, it wasn't in the shape that it was supposed to be in, let's just say that. But I'm like, what are our choices here? Like, I'm ready to fill up a plastic bag if I have to. I'll do whatever I gotta do. So anyways, I buy the container, I go out to the pump, I fill it up. As soon as I get it filled, I take off. Now I'm running with a can of gas, right? I got a couple gallons in there. I'm running down the street. Guy yells out the window, "Run, Forrest, run!" I'm like,
Oh, you didn't tell me that either.
I didn't say that either.
That's a little 2000 late.
Oh, I was kind of in my feelings there for a minute, but I'm like, that doesn't even matter. Honestly, the only thing my focus right now is I gotta get back there as quick as possible. I think I ran back with the gas can faster than I got there, because it was pretty quick. I get back to the car. Thankfully, they're all right. They're in the car. I figure out how to open up this gas can, which was a little bit more complicated than you would actually think. Safety features on it, whatever. Get this thing in, get a couple of gallons in there, and I'm like, whew, wow, get back in the car. Now I'm like, I hope I didn't run it dry. I hope it just starts back up. Thankfully it did. Started back up, and we wound up going right back to that same gas station that I was just at. Filled the car up. Now at this time, you would think like I'm kind of like coming back down, a little bit relieved, but the whole time, like I was definitely beating myself up. I was like, not only will I never ever run out of gas again, but I gotta make sure that I never ever put them in jeopardy like that again. So it was a life lesson. Don't ever push it. When that light goes off, just go get gas. Which happened today, by the way.
Yeah, we were both like, oh, gas, we need gas.
Let's go get gas. So.
Before you continue.
Yeah.
CJ just discovered how to make that sound, what, 2 days ago? Yesterday?
Yesterday.
So he's not in distress or anything, he just found that screech, and he loves using it. And he must take after one of us, which one, I'm not sure. Because he can't even see that camera's going right now, and he is hamming it up for the camera.
He's been quiet for like the last hour, but
Yeah.
as soon as we hit play, look at him.
That's my boy.
He knows.
He knows. Future mayor or something.
He definitely
Sorry,
knows.
Keith, I just wanted to address that because it sounds like he's in distress, but he's just living his life.
No, I don't know. I want to see where we were as far as time. I don't know. You have any idea there?
I don't. I can go check the phone.
No, that's all right.
Okay.
So, I think that was it. I think it was just time for us to check in, touch base with all of you. You guys have been amazing. We're gonna do more updates, talk a little bit more about what's happening with us. Honestly, we've been really tied up, enjoying this new routine with us, focused on family. I made some major life transitions that have impacted all of us.
That we did talk about on the live on Little Mountain.
Yeah.
So if you guys just go back to the last live video if you're curious what Adam's talking about. Go ahead.
And I was gonna say the only thing coming from that aspect, right now we're at a fundraising stage, and it's funny, like I have to constantly reiterate, like I worked for a nonprofit previously where we relied on grants and donations. That is not what we're doing. We're actually for profit, and we're using capital gains, which is investment money that companies and wealthy individuals have to do a lot of good in the community. It's incentivized. I keep having to explain this to people, but it's definitely worth the effort. What we're doing is incredible, providing transitional housing to criminal justice impacted families, and ultimately putting them on a pathway to home ownership. We have all sorts of community partners. It's been an incredible experience, especially us, Ro and I, getting to do this together, networking, going to different events, Christmas parties. I mean, it's been pretty incredible. The only thing that really gets me is when we tell someone, or I say what our initial fundraise, our initial raise for investments is $30 million. This is a big project.
In how long?
In 30 days. It was 30 million in 30 days. And whenever I see someone who's kind of like, maybe they don't even want to say it, like that's a big goal, I'm like, you should hear our other goals. You know, like we didn't get here by chance.
Yes, God.
You know, we know firsthand the power of believing in yourself and your abilities. And man, when it's like part of your purpose, when you're living in that space where you're doing what you know you're supposed to be doing, everything just works. Everything comes together, and that's how it's been. We're just grateful. We're grateful for all the support that we've had, and for being able to share this experience with all of you. Hopefully it inspires you to set some really big goals for the year ahead. We just got off a coaching call. That's what we were doing. And man, it's going to be an incredible year. We're like wrapping things up, looking back at all that we've accomplished and all of the miracles and all the good that's to come. And we wish you all good things as well.
Yeah, so I'm laughing to myself because first of all, normally it's just me interrupting you throughout your video, but you got some competition tonight. I've got some competition tonight. And I just want to add this, is Adam said earlier, he goes, I wouldn't want to go, I wouldn't want to go up against me. I wouldn't doubt me. Well, how did you word?
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt you.
I wouldn't doubt me. Of course, I said back, I never have, never will. But then he was telling a story on this coaching call. He said, well, I was talking to this banker about this situation that he just explained this morning, and then he said XYZ, and I had to interrupt him, or I waited for him to finish, and I said, by the way, that conversation took place on an 8-mile run up a mountain while he was wearing a backpack with a couple gallons of water in it. She forgot to tell you that part, but it wouldn't be an Adam Clausen goal if it wasn't something lofty and extremely challenging like that. So you guys can follow along. We'll keep you posted on how that goes, but I wouldn't doubt you. I mean, look at this is you want to talk about manifesting.
That's
I said to CJ before, I was like, Daddy's got lots of lessons. He's the best at it, and you're living proof, literally.
And just to clarify on that story, the run this morning wasn't necessarily up a mountain, it was on a trail.
Oh, my bad.
Just to clarify that.
Mr. Humility over here.
So
I just needed to add that in because it was funny the way that you presented it. Like, oh, I'm just kind of having this nonchalant chat with the banker. Yeah, going up a mountain, going across a mountain. Anyway.
yeah.
So yes, you're right. We have to do more videos. It's been a while
And I'm gonna take them.
since we've done a few. But if you can't tell, we have our hands full a little bit and
Yes, we do.
work and balancing real life. But I think that's what's fun about our channel right now is that you guys get to follow along with us adjusting to this new life. And I hope it's entertaining, but also I hope it's inspiring. So with that, happy holidays. We will be back soon. We have a video coming out tomorrow. It's a vlog about my Christmas decorations. I did a whole bunch of DIYs. One of them's not done yet, but we won't show them. But what do you think about how it came out before we'll show them on another video?
I think it all came out great.
I think it did too.
Very impressive. She is very impressive.
Thank you. Back at you.
Amazing.
Okay, so that's coming tomorrow, and then if you guys have requests or anything like that, I think we're gonna do a vlog on baby's first food because he started eating cereal, which is so fun, just like the next chapter. And that's it. So, love you guys. See you in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Anything else to say before we go, CJ?
You wanna say bye?
You wanna say bye?
Bye.
Say bye. I love you, friends.
Say bye, bye.